Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. But even if you're not, I want you to know this video might change something inside you. Not because it's magical, not because I'm going to teach you 1,000 new words, but because I'm going to give you something most learners never get, the courage to start. Let me be completely honest with you. Starting a conversation in English feels impossible for most learners, not because their English is bad, but because their fear is louder than their voice. You might have good vocabulary. You might understand everything when someone else speaks. You might have been learning English for months or even years. But when it's time to actually say something to a real person, you freeze. You stay quiet. You pretend to smile. You wait for the perfect sentence to come, but it never does. And later, you feel angry at yourself. Does that sound familiar? That's why I made this video. Because I've seen too many learners who can learn, but they never speak. Too many people who want to talk, but never start. And the truth is, most videos on this topic will give you a list of 10 phrases and say, repeat after me. But they don't talk about the real problem: fear, hesitation, awkward silence, self-doubt. In this video, I'll not only teach you exactly how to start a conversation in English, step by step, in the most easy and natural way, but I'll also show you how to speak even if you're shy, scared, nervous, or even if your English is not perfect. You will learn what to say first and why waiting is dangerous, how to keep the conversation going so it doesn't die after hi, what to do if you forget words, how to practice conversations alone, even at home, and how to finally feel confident speaking English in real life. But more than anything, this video is about helping you break the wall of silence inside your mind. Because once you say the first sentence, everything changes. So don't treat this like another lesson. Treat this like the beginning of a new version of yourself. The version that finally speaks. Let's begin. Part 1. The 3-second rule. Why you should speak before your fear wakes up. Let's start with the most important rule when it comes to starting a conversation in English. Don't wait. Say something in 3 seconds. Why? Because your brain is your best friend, but also your worst enemy when you're nervous. The longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. You start thinking, what if I say something wrong? What if they laugh at me? What if I forget the words? What if they don't understand me? And by the time you've thought all that, the moment is gone. You see, fear needs time to grow. If you don't give it time, it has no power. That's why we use the 3-second rule. When you see someone and feel like starting a conversation, you have exactly 3 seconds. That's your window. In those 3 seconds, you don't try to be perfect. You don't try to be smart. You don't even try to impress. You just say something, even if it's simple, even if it sounds silly, even if it's just hi or nice weather today. The point is not the sentence. The point is the action. Because once you speak, you stop thinking. Once the words leave your mouth, your fear loses control. Here's what it sounds like in real life. Example 1. You see someone waiting at the bus stop. You walk up and say, "Hi, the bus is late again, huh?" That's it. You didn't ask a deep question. You didn't give speech. You just made a simple comment about the moment. And now the door is open. Example 2. You're in a class or meeting. Someone sits next to you. You turn and say, "Hey, is this your first time here?" Even if they just say, "Yes," now you can follow up. "Oh, mine too. I wasn't sure where to sit." See how it flows? The first sentence doesn't need to be big. It just needs to exist. Now, here's what I want you to understand deeply. Most people are not judging you. They're also scared. They're also unsure. They're also waiting for you to speak first. So when you speak, they feel safe. You become the brave one. And that's how leaders are born, not with perfect grammar, but with imperfect courage. Before we move to part 2, here's a power tip. Whenever you go outside, practice saying something in 3 seconds. To the shopkeeper, the waiter, your neighbor, even a stranger. Say anything. Good morning. How's your day? That's a nice bag. The weather is crazy today. It doesn't matter what you say. What matters is you didn't wait. And the more you do this, the less scary it becomes. Because you're training your brain to speak before fear arrives. This is your first real step to fluency. Not memorizing phrases, but becoming the kind of person who speaks without delay. You speak first. You lead the moment. You become confident. And that is how conversations begin. Part 2. Easy first sentences that work anywhere, with anyone, anytime. Let's talk about something extremely important. Now you've already learned that you need to speak within 3 seconds. That's how you start. But now the question is, what should you say? This is where most English learners feel stuck, because they think, I want to speak, but I don't know the right sentence. What if I say something weird? What if they don't respond the way I expect? This fear is completely normal. And the solution is not to wait for perfect words. The solution is to prepare natural, simple, safe first sentences that work in any situation, without needing a big vocabulary. And that's exactly what I'm going to give you in this part. These are not robotic textbook phrases. These are real, casual, friendly, confident sentences that real people use in everyday life. The kind of English that doesn't make you sound like a beginner, even if you are. Let's break it into 4 categories. Category 1, general starters, work everywhere. These are for any person, in any place, at any time. Use them in the office, at school, in a store, at a party, on the street, anywhere. Examples. Hi, how's your day going? Hey, I think I've seen you before. Hi, I'm Jack. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Are you from around here? So what do you do? Is this your first time here? Now, let's break these down simply. Hi, how's your day going? This is the easiest way to show you're friendly. It's not too deep, but not too boring. It allows the other person to respond with good or busy, and you can continue from there. I think I've seen you before. This is a smart way to connect. You're not claiming to know them. You're just starting familiarity. It opens the door for a relaxed conversation like, oh really? Maybe. And now you're both smiling and talking. Are you from around here? This is useful when you're in a new place, a city, an event, a class, a party. It doesn't feel forced. It's natural curiosity. If they say yes, you ask more about the area. If they say no, you ask where they're from. Either way, the conversation continues. Category 2, office, classroom, professional environment. If you're at work or in a classroom, you don't always want to sound casual. You want to sound natural but respectful. Here are your go-to first sentences. Is this seat taken? Hi, I'm new here. Are you part of this project too? Have you worked on something like this before? What do you think of this topic so far? The session was really interesting today. Now, let's slow these down and explain them. Is this seat taken? This is polite. You're asking permission to sit. It's a soft entry into a conversation. And once they respond with, no, go ahead. You can say, thanks. I'm Jack, by the way. Boom. The conversation has begun. I'm new here. Are you part of this project too? This is honest. If you're new, say it. People appreciate honesty, and most will want to help you or talk to you when you're new. This is how professionals build trust, with simple truth, not big words. Category 3. Social events, parties, groups. These situations can feel awkward, especially if you don't know anyone. But the good news is, everyone is looking for a conversation. They just need someone to begin. Here are the perfect openers. Hey, I love your shoes. Dressed up jacket. Where did you get it? This place is really nice. Have you been here before? So, how do you know the host? Food is amazing, right? I'm terrible at remembering names. What was your name again? Let's make one thing clear. Compliments are powerful. They don't need to be dramatic. Just small, kind observations like, that color looks great on you, can start amazing conversations. And here's why this works. When you compliment someone or ask a question about their opinion or experience, you make them feel interesting. And that's the secret to being a great English speaker. Make others feel seen. Category 4. Random but powerful situational openers. Life is full of small moments. You're waiting in line, sitting in waiting room, standing in an elevator, looking at something in a shop. These are perfect chances for light conversation. Use lines like, long line today, huh? I can't decide this one or that one. That book looks interesting. Have you read it before? Looks like we're both stuck waiting. The weather today is wild. Now, read this carefully. These sentences are not about deep topics. They are about breaking the silence. They are about letting someone know, I'm friendly. I'm open. Let's talk. That's all you need to begin. And yes, some people may give short answers. Some might not want to continue, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you failed. You succeeded the moment you tried. Because every time you speak, you remove fear from your brain. Don't try to say something impressive. Just say something real. People don't remember the words. They remember how they felt when you spoke to them. Warmth, openness, courage, presence. That's what makes your English powerful, not the size of your vocabulary. Every single day, speak one of these first sentences to someone, even a stranger. And here's the truth, even just once. If you do this for 30 days, you'll never be afraid to start a conversation again. Because now you know what to say. Now you have your toolkit. Now it's just about using it. Part 3. Golden follow-up tricks, so it doesn't feel awkward or die early. Let's say you've done everything right so far. You saw someone. You remembered the 3-second rule. You said a beautiful first sentence. Hi, how's your day going? They smiled. They replied, it's going well, thanks. And now you panic. Your mind goes blank. You don't know what to say next. You feel the silence growing. You tell yourself, I shouldn't have started this. Now it's awkward. And just like that, the conversation dies. This is exactly where 99% of English learners get stuck. And this is where your real growth begins. So now I will teach you something life-changing, something nobody explains deeply in English learning videos. The real secret to continuing any conversation is this. Don't search for the next sentence. Search for their story. What does this mean? It means stop trying to impress. Stop trying to say something smart. And start trying to understand the other person. Because when you become curious, the conversation flows naturally. The 3-step technique. Ask, listen, comment. This is the golden technique that makes you fluent, even if your vocabulary is small. Let's break it down. Step 1. Ask. Start by asking a small, natural question based on what they said. Let's use a real example. You. So, where are you from? Them. I'm from Brazil. Now, don't jump to another topic. Don't say, oh, okay. So what do you do? That kills the rhythm. Step 2. Listen. Pause. Let their answer enter your mind. Repeat it in your head. Brazil. Think. What do I know about Brazil? Have I heard anything interesting? Is there anything I'm curious about? Step 3. Comment. Make a simple comment or ask a follow-up question that shows interest. You. Oh, I've always wanted to visit Brazil. Which city are you from? Them. Sao Paulo. You. Nice. What's it like living there? Them. It's busy but fun. Now look what happened. The conversation didn't stop. It grew from where are you from to which city to what's it like. And now you're naturally talking. That's how you build a bridge. Not with difficult words, but with genuine interest. The fire analogy. Think of a conversation like a fire. You start it with a spark, your first sentence. But if you don't give it oxygen, interest, curiosity, follow-up, the fire dies. When you ask, listen, and comment, you're giving oxygen. You're helping the conversation grow and breathe. That's why the best English speakers aren't the ones with perfect grammar. They're the ones who listen deeply and respond warmly. Now, let's build your follow-up toolkit. Real, natural phrases that make you sound fluent, without sounding forced. You can use these phrases after someone answers your question. Oh, really? That's interesting. I've never heard that before. Tell me more. What made you choose that? Is it something you enjoy? How long have you been doing that? That sounds fun. How did you get into it? I've always been curious about that. Let's practice with a few examples. Example 1. Talking about a job. You. What do you do? Them. I'm a graphic designer. Now, don't say cool and stop. Instead, you. That's interesting. What kind of design do you do? Them. Mostly logos and brand identity. You. Wow. That must take creativity. How did you get into that? Them. I've loved art since I was a kid. You see what's happening? You're not just speaking English. You're connecting as a human. That's what makes English powerful. Not the accent, not the grammar, but the energy. Example 2. Talking about travel. You. Do you enjoy traveling? Them. Yes, I love it. Now expand the fire. HU. Nice. What's your favorite place you visited? Them. Probably Italy. You. Italy sounds amazing. What did you love most about it?